It's just 3 months since David Boy Green was knocked out in this ring by the American Carlos Palomino in his bid for the WBC welterweight title. Tonight starts the comeback, and we wait to see whether Palomino's left hook has left any permanent mark on the career of Dave Green. The opponent, the bearded Andy Price from San Diego, California, a man who once beat Carlos Palomino, the conqueror of Dave Green, but also a man who in the States is not reckoned to have a powerful punch. And in some ways, this fight tonight is as important for Green as the one with Palomino, because for sure if he doesn't win this one, then he can virtually say goodbye to any chance of ever getting back to a shot at the world title. Andy, the Hawk Price, he's known as the Hawk, and he's got a hawk emblazoned on the right leg of his trunks. Quite a bit of drama today at the weigh-in. Both men failed to make the weight, which was the welterweight limit, of course, of 10/7. Green was 2 ounces overweight and got it off by the simple expedient of removing his underpants. But Price was 1.5 pounds over, and it took him 1 hour and 20 minutes and 4 trips to the scales before he got it off. And Andy Smith, the manager of Green, was absolutely insistent that he had to get it off right down to the very last ounce. Well, there were some danger signs there for Green, and in fact he looked to be a little bit at sea at times there, rather more so than he did in the opening round against Palomino. So this could be a very, very tough fight indeed for Green, and he's going to have to shake things up a bit, and he's going to have to put a lot of pressure on Price to unsettle that man out of his very easy style. Price, the American, 23 years old, Green, 24. Price has not only beaten Carlos Palomino, the current WBC champion, but he's also beaten Pipino Cuevas of Mexico, who is the other welterweight champion of the world, the WBA champion. So 2 notable scalps for this man, and yet they still rate him as a non-puncher in the States. Good body punch from Dave Green. Outreach, but coming through the inside. Putting pressure on the American, driving him back. Price frowns occasionally when the punches hit him around the head. And the old determination now coming back, flooding back into Green as he warms up. Not such a neat boxer as the American, but making up for it with determination. Well, you can see just by looking at Price why he's had 1 or 2 good wins in the States. There's a touch of class about him. Been well drilled. Price takes a deep breath at the end of the third. This man from San Diego. Been knocked out twice in his career and beaten twice on points. 4 defeats on the record in 34 fights. 27 wins, but only 7 have come inside the distance, and he hasn't stopped any opponent since February 1975. Green has not mounted quite the sort of sustained attacks that he did with Palomino. The sheer blinding and driving ferocity of that fight with Palomino isn't quite here with him. He was really worked up and psyched up for a world title fight that night. Price fighting his way out of that corner, but got back into it again. And Green works well to the body. This is the pressure he has to put on. This is the stuff that worried Palomino. To back up. Didn't want to, but he had to back up, and he's in trouble. And his eyes cut underneath. All sorts of trouble now for Green. Cut underneath the left eye. To the fifth round, and Green now up against him. Nasty looking cut underneath the left eye. Feeling his way in this one rather sensibly. He really can't afford to open up and be caught again the way he was caught in the fourth round. Popov opening up is the only way he's going to win this fight, so he's got real problems. Punches well there, Green. Oh, that's the sample of the stuff that Price comes back with. Well, halfway through the scheduled 10, and one thing has been demonstrated again tonight, that against good class opponents, Green is very, very exposed. He leaves himself wide open, and a good man knows how to take advantage of him. That's what Palomino did. And that's what Price is doing. And it really is beginning to look as though they aimed a little too high for this first comeback fight of Green's. He could have done, I think, something a good deal easier than this. You can only ask a man to have so many wars in his fighting life. And this is another war for Green. Standing there and getting caught flat-footed by those sweeping lefts into the body. Cut bleeding badly. Going quite ominously quiet as they see the sort of efforts that Green's putting in coming to nothing. Well, there must be one desperately disappointing thing for the Green corner, and that is that despite all those struggles to make the weight at 1 o'clock this afternoon by Andy Price, and it took him an hour and 20 minutes to get the weight off, a £1.5 he had to shed. Despite that, he stood up to the best attacks that Green can throw. He's shown no signs of weakness under head or body punching.
Second up, round 7.
Typical aggressive, brave, determined effort by Green. against a man with rather more talent. The young man from Chatteris will not be denied. Once again, Price fights his way out of the corners. When he looks in trouble, he always finds something to come back with. Well, when they doled out determination, they certainly gave Green more than his share. Marvellous effort by the young Briton. Nothing he does seems to make any difference, Price. The man takes some, avoids some, and then comes back to some. The best moments of the fight for Green by a long way, the second round. Haven't got time to think about heads at a moment like this. You won't see 2 minutes of fighting much better than that.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Well, there can't be too many occasions when a man who's been beaten for a world title has come back into the ring 3 months later for his next fight and found somebody almost as good again. Oh, what a good punch! Price has got him. It's Palomino all over again. I don't think David knows where he is, to be honest. Looking anywhere but at Price. Now then, the man is alleged not to have a punch, and this is the moment we shall find out. From some dim mist, Green finds a way to come back. But he looks like a man groping in the dark. Grim, set, still determined, but feeling his way forward almost by instinct. I swear he was out on his feet a minute ago. Absolutely out on his feet. Now he's beginning to come round and back into it. And you wonder just how the American failed to finish him off in this 9th round. He had him at his mercy and he let him go. The pair of them look as though they've got hardly anything left at all. And there's another round to come. Heads rubbing together. Both of them almost too tired to hold their arms up. They've both given everything. And they've still got 3 minutes to go. This was the moment when disaster suddenly came upon Green. This flurry of punches. He attacked hard. And back came Price with his favourite left hook, and then a marvellous couple of right hands. And a lot more after that. And Green really was in desperate trouble. And it's a miracle that he's still in the fight.
Second up, 10th and last round.
The final round of a fine and furious fight. And you wouldn't like to put your money on either man even now. We're in the last minute, and the pace doesn't slacken. A world title eliminator. And right to the last second, there's going to be some doubt as to who goes through from this extraordinary fight. Green's made the better finish, and you wouldn't have thought it possible. The crowd roaring him on now, a great crescendo of sound in the Empire Pool Wembley for this young Briton, whose whole career looked like blowing up in his face in the 9th round. The bell, and Green has won it. Sid Nathan has no hesitation, straight to Green. He beats Andy Price. A most remarkable performance by Dave Boy Green. Defeat stared him in the face 3 or 4 minutes from the end. He survived it and won a most marvellous victory.
Well, victory for Dave Boy Green, as I said earlier, essential. He got the nod, albeit by a decision. Only his 6th distance fight in 26 outings.